The death of my father, for sure. It's like I said, I was very close to my father, and I was very grateful, and I was very fortunate to have a good father that loved me the way he did, And then him dying right when I was going to start my next chapter of my life, which was college, for sure I would say that kind of changed the flow of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say that would be the biggest impact. The biggest life-changing experience was losing my father, for sure.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Go With The Flow. Today I have a new episode. Before we get into that episode, though, I want to say a couple updates. So first off, if you guys are not following me on TikTok, I've been going live these past weeks, so we're growing there pretty quickly. I'm almost to 2,000, so that's good. Another update, I would have to say, I'm in school, and I'm graduating this year. So you guys should keep update of that. But without further ado, I want to introduce my cousin Ignacio Bernal, aka Iggy.
That's me.
Here he is.
Hey, what's
welcome,
up, guys?
welcome. So, I want to get straight into it.
Start right in.
We're on the time crunch right now.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
Time is limited. It's all right.
So, first off, how do you feel today?
Can't complain. Very, very blessed.
Yeah.
Very good day today. Good day at work. So nothing too crazy, nothing too exciting, but also nothing too bad. It's a good day for sure. Very happy, I guess. Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad. And this is your first podcast, right?
Yes. First podcast. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm usually on the other side. I was in the past on the other side of the camera.
All right.
But,
so he got some
experience with
experience.
multimedia. Yeah. So.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay. In terms of what? Like what I do for work?
Career-wise and just personal life.
Okay. So, as you guys heard, my name's Ignacio, also known by Iggy.
Mm-hmm.
Other names, good or bad. For work, I'm a substitute teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a coach for at our local high school for track and field. And I also help coach a travel ball softball team. I just started subbing a couple months ago, so that's been mostly my income. And then hopefully in the future, I get my credentials to become a PE teacher at the high school level.
All right.
Hopefully gonna start that in the summer.
Yeah.
And maybe get my master's as well. So I gotta go back to school again.
Oh.
Let's see. Things I like to do things about me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Like my hobbies, besides the typical hanging out with your family and friends and stuff.
Yeah. And I will say my cousin, we're very family oriented.
Yeah.
We have that connection, we like to be around, the parties, we like to be active, we like to be lit.
I feel like I wasn't like that though. No? I feel like
I feel like just recently, huh?
Not just recently, it's just that I wasn't too close to certain family members.
Yeah.
So, but when I do get to be around people, I get to kind of just be out there and kind of have fun and stuff.
That's true.
But so hobby besides hanging out with friends and family, I am currently on a weightlifting team with here at our local gym. We compete and stuff.
And what is that gym?
Iron Valley. Shout out to Iron Valley.
Shout
out to Coach Gerald. If you don't know, now you know. Right, weightlifting. Do that. Try to go to jiu-jitsu and stuff when I can. And coaching, that's about it. And hanging out with my family, like I said, hanging out with my family and just trying to stay active, Can't be a not active PE person,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's true. I feel like especially in the fitness career way, you want to wait. So what is it that you're majoring in? I forgot.
So I majored in kinesiology, which is to sum everything up, it's just the study of body movement, right? How the body moves, whether it's through athletic movements or just day-to-day things, So yeah.
True. Okay, I want to get into some
some of the deeper
funny questions.
Oh, funny questions. Okay.
Yeah. So these are some of my personal questions that I would like to ask you because, guys, we are cousins, but we really don't spend that much time to really get to know each other on a complete level.
Yeah. At least not on one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for us, like, this is pretty, like, new.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure. It's the first time for everything.
So I wanted to ask my cousin, like, what is one of your, like, pet peeves?
One of my pet peeves. I think there's quite a bit. I think one that comes first to front of my mind is people being rude to people that work in like customer service. So people that work at stores, or people who work in restaurants, and people who just around have to work or have to interact with other people, bro.
Yeah.
And people that are just rude to them, you know. Like I can understand if you're having a shitty day, you get me? You know? But to take it out on somebody else and just them, you know, they're just trying to get their money. You're trying to
get their grind going.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're just being an asshole about it. It's just whatever happened in your personal life, you know? Like it kind of suck for sure. But I don't like people that are mean to people that work in customer service.
Yeah. I feel like I could relate with you on that level too because
you've been there. You've worked at a restaurant.
Especially like as a manager in McDonald's. Like, what the fuck? Like, literally, I had some lady call me racist for not bringing out her 13 cookie dough, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? Like, the things that people will say just to get under your skin, you know?
Yeah.
So, I guess we've had our fair share.
Yeah, it's one of my pet peeves, I would say, for sure. I think it's one of the biggest ones.
Okay. And what's your zodiac sign?
I am a Libra gang.
Libra gang, yes, balance.
Kind of, I guess, yeah. I try to be at least. Honestly, I don't even know about astrology and stuff until I guess I got popular recently in the past couple of years.
I feel like I've always just been like a curious person into the unknown.
Yeah, I just feel like all that stuff is just like
scary.
No, it's an excuse to
certain way
to explain you being an asshole.
Oh, well, I don't use it.
No, for some people. You get me? I'm not saying you.
Yeah, no.
Shots fired. No. But yeah, bro. People would be like, "Oh my God, I just fucking ran into his fucking car. So sorry, just because I'm an Aries. My bad." It's like, what the fuck, bitch? Like, you know,
that's so true.
Like that does not excuse you being a fucking psycho. You know, just because of your stars. You know. Yeah. So for sure.
That's so true.
Yeah.
All right. And what are some future goals or aspirations that you would be comfortable sharing?
Man, future goals. I think about these all the time, bro. Every day, just trying to get inspired. You know, I think you get inspired every day. Hopefully, you know. If you don't, well, find something that inspires you.
Yeah. For real.
So I guess the overall goal, one of the more tangible goals I have is just going back to school. Okay. Getting my credentials for teaching, and then getting my master's maybe. Nah, I'm probably gonna get my master's now that I'm there when I go back. But yeah, and then becoming a PE teacher at the high school level. Is it my main goal? That's like my end-all career? I don't think so. At first I thought it was, but now that I'm doing it, I was like, it's a good job, but I want to do more as well. One of my dreams, to be honest, is I'm infatuated with the world of MMA, like with martial arts and stuff and combat. Yeah. I just like watching it. You know, I love coming from a kinesiology background and some sports. I feel like that's like for me, it's one of the most beautiful ways people can express movement. I know it's violent, don't get me wrong, like boxing and UFC and MMA and all these other martial arts. But it's beautiful. You give me there's people that spend hours and hours.
And also, too, I feel like it's the way, like, you connect with that. Like, what you express. Yeah. And how you feel about what you like, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about you, like, the way you put, like, your mindset into the things that you like. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why we are all different, you know?
Yeah. And like I was saying, I think it's like the most beautiful expression of human movement because you have people spending hours perfecting moves and throwing the same punch over the same kick, true. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, for hours of their lives, you know, and then to go compete in a matter of 25 minutes, 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah, it's really like
people go like, you know,
a work of art. Como dicen, una obra de arte.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that being said, I want to open up potentially some kind of sports complex or MMA gym. That way there's one here in the area locally, but Mostly that way kids. I want to so that way kids can come after school and like I want to make a program where kids can come and learn how to, I mean I've had a fight, defend yourself. That'd be kind of one of the results, whatever. Mostly just to get some structure to some kids,
Yeah.
especially if they don't have it at home or in their everyday lives. Having structure is not always a bad thing, And then once hopefully we can develop that and develop the character, and kids can come and just, express themselves through movement.
Yeah.
And maybe let out some pent up, frustration and stuff like that, and just teach them, discipline, how to build character, how to face adversity, dealing with losses, So hopefully that's the plan. That's my overall dream. And then I'm trying to retire by at least 35, bro. I don't want to work. I don't want to work, bro. I don't want to work.
I hope so.
Because I want to, because I just, working's cool and all, but I want to work on others. I want to have the time to do that and help others grow and stuff. And I think that's why I want to open up something like that. Yeah. That's like my biggest dream so far. That or being a referee at the UFC level. That would be cool too. Okay. But we'll see.
And where do you think like this drive of like helping others or like being there to guide others, like where did like this essence come from?
Yes and no. I felt like one, watching my dad always. My dad's upbringing, right? Just like other people that are like us that have a Mexican background, right?
Yeah.
Some of our parents or grandparents come from Mexico, which is not the most richest country, in terms of opportunities and material things. So they come over to here, so when our grandparents or parents start making money or they start helping out, people back home and stuff. And I think just watching my dad do that, I kind of got, it kind of rubs off on you.
Yeah.
But mostly, I think the biggest contribution to that is just being somebody that needs help. I've always, not always been, but I've been somebody that needed help. You know what I'm saying? And I had important people lend me a hand and, and help me get through whatever I was going through, whether it was mental or, everyday life stuff, So I want to be that for somebody, you know what I'm saying?
And for other kids. And the truth of like what you're saying is like, it's so true. Like we can choose to, like in our story, like your story, my story, like we've all had moments of ups and downs, and but they're all in different ways and they all shape different. But the truth is, like in life, you get to choose if you want to be the villain or like the hero in your own story.
Yeah.
And that means like for yourself.
First,
not speaking about other people.
Yeah, and I think I also think that's subjective. Some people might view you as a villain, even though you don't think, but you're just doing whatever. It's just one of those things.
You know what? That's so crazy.
Yeah, like
I want to get into that.
Okay, so for example, it's like
Like, what do you mean with that?
Okay, there's a quote, right, where it's like, from a show where it's like the difference between me and you is you would sacrifice a person to save the world, but I would sacrifice the world to save you. So who's the villain?
Okay.
Would you sacrifice somebody you love to save everybody else? Or would you sacrifice the world to save that one person you love?
Do you think that shows the type of person you are?
I mean, it can be, but I think it just shows how complex we can be.
Yeah.
And then there's no such thing as the black and white. It's not always black and white. It's always that gray area.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm studying in sociology right now.
Right?
Like all these like topics, like literally that's why I love talking about them.
Yeah, sociology's cool, bro.
And that's another reason why I wanted to bring my cousin Nachito, because I know I can have that conversation with him.
Yeah. Because
you're very like open-minded. Like you're really smart,
I wasn't at first, so don't worry if you're not. You know what I'm saying? Because you could sometimes be a byproduct of your environment and stuff, the nature versus nurture and all that good stuff.
Preach that one.
So you can be very close-minded, but going to college or going to other places and then experiencing new environments and new people, you change and
you create your philosophy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I think in some eyes, I might be the hero in other people's eyes, and other people's eyes, I'm the villain. So it's just subjective.
Wow. Yeah. Very powerful, because sometimes I feel like the way I see myself, everybody's gonna see me that way.
What, main, like a hero?
Like no, like a good person.
No, main character syndrome.
You think I have main character syndrome? Maybe we can dive into another episode.
No, just kidding. Yeah. Main character. Too many Lifetime movies.
What the fuck?
Say that the camera's not there, like a sitcom. Okay, like, oh, don't worry about it. That's just Eddie being Eddie. Oh, okay. Is he okay?
You know
Yeah.
what? I might have main character syndrome because I do monologues and when I'm by
You're
myself.
like walking.
I'm like.
Anyways, like the Disney when you're just like. You in what army? And then you're like, they look around, they're like, hear the claps and shit. You're like, okay, that shit's not. It's not like. And they just imagine watching that from the outside, like, what the fuck
Did
is
you
wrong
guys
with
know
this guy?
I'm Mufasa in the old movie? I'm just kidding. All right. So, do you think that you think that was like your final answer? Like, you feel good on that part?
Sure.
Speaking on that.
Yeah.
All right.
I take it back now, right? That's what he said.
Alrighty. This is another fun fact before we get into the more,
deeper
questions. Yeah. And the reason I do that is because I don't come on, like I don't want to.
You want to ease into it. You want to just.
And I don't. Yeah, like
a little bit of the foreplay, get things going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get things.
Okay. Wait. So. Okay. Do you think your star sign correlates to your personality, or do you think it's misleading?
I have no fucking clue. I can't tell you.
You said you don't really like get into it.
I mean, I've looked it up because I've been curious, and they're like, oh, like Libras can be like indecisive. I'm like, okay, fair enough, I guess. But they can also be artistic and this and that. But they can also, and I just, who knows? I can't call it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
There's stuff that proves it, stuff that doesn't prove it. It just, who am I to say no? You know what I'm saying? I think, but I feel like some of it could be genetic, kind of become your parents. As you get older, you become your parents. You ever catch yourself doing habits of your parents? And you're like, I should make fun of my parents for doing that, but now I do it. My biggest thing is I should make fun of my dad for when I focus. He would focus. He would always take out his tongue. He'd go like this.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
And then now everybody makes fun of me now for me doing it. Wow. But I don't even know why I do it. I'll be like, this is like cutting hair or doing something, and I'll be like,
wow.
I take out my tongue. Yeah, so it's crazy.
What is some?
So yeah, I don't know if maybe yes, might be accurate, might be not. I don't know, but can you tell me anything about Libras?
Well, what I know about Libras is they're known to be very open-minded, and they're very these are just surface level things.
Yeah.
Of course, because I can't really dictate a deeper level of every Libra, because we're all not the same. And that you guys are the neutral party in most situations, and you look from a deeper perspective.
Okay.
But I can say that too about myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
and I'm a Leo.
Yeah.
And I have rising Capricorn.
Oh, apparently I have a Gemini moon. Whatever the fuck that means.
Oh, and people will immediately say that whenever the moon is
I have an air sign and a fucking earth sign. The fuck am I, the Avatar? What the fuck? Earth, water. What the fuck?
So the moon is connected with your emotions.
So
I'm moon in Cancer. That means I'm really deeply emotional. And yeah, I mean, I could say that's true. And I don't deny it because, I'm unapologetically me. But that's not about me right now. It's about you.
About us. Start sweating.
How was your upbringing around your family circle?
My immediate family or just family in general?
Your immediate family.
So, in terms of the immediate family, I was the only kid for about 10 years. So, really, it was just me and my mom and then my dad, right? I mean, for the most part, it was good, I guess. There's still, for sure, some trauma. I'm getting my ass whooped pretty good. But I think that's just every Mexican kid,
Literally.
Yeah. But eventually my parents divorced. And then my mom ended up getting pregnant with her other man. And then got, my little brother, my little half brother came out, the 10-year gap. And then eventually, my sister came. We're all half siblings, but I can, consider them my they're my siblings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say my relationship with my mom wasn't the best as I got older, for sure. But with my dad, I think I was really closest with. Yeah. And now that I'm older, for sure, I think same thing. My mom's still not the best relationship, but it's not bad either. But with for sure, I'm really close to my little brother. Oh. Yeah. And then my sister, she's cool, but she's kind of annoying. She's the last. She's the youngest of the group of the three of us, so she's the baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say kind of close, but not close. It just depends. But in terms of the family in general, I had some pretty good. I had people treat me pretty good. Some didn't, for sure, for just because of who my mom was. They treated me different, but that's neither here or there. But I'm very fortunate and lucky that I have people who were always looking for me. Like one of my cousin Miguel, they're all older people. My cousin Jose, Tito's, you know what I'm saying? Uncles, right? So I was very lucky to I had people that actively sought me out to hang out and stuff, or just be, So I would say it was pretty cool. Yeah. So close, not close, it just depends,
And because of that dynamic, I think do you think that has like an impact on like your personality and how you are today?
I think so. It does, because I guess you could say I was the black sheep of one side of the family, and while the other side of the family, I was very loved.
Yeah, I'm like very paraded. Like I think I know what side of the family, because I don't want to like make it seem like we're choosing sides here.
Yeah,
cause
so like one side I was the black sheep of the family, and the other side I was like you said, paraded. I was very loved and cared for. So I got to kind of experience both. I mean, because I'm a Libra, So but yeah, I think it shaped me. It shaped me to understand. You know what I'm saying? I can understand what it feels to be loved and spoiled, and also I can also understand what it feels to be outcasted.
Yeah.
Just because even if it's not your fault, just because you're different, or just because you're related to somebody else, or
it's pretty crazy.
You get the
when you
older people's, the grown ups aggressions, whatever what's the word?
Generational.
There's trespasses, whatever, what I'm saying, thrown against you, even though you have nothing to do with it.
They're negative generation cycles.
For sure.
Kind of passed on to you, and it's like you're faced with them. And you have to like figure it all on yourself.
Yeah, because it just sucks sometimes.
But that, like you say, it does build character.
Yeah, for sure. I think trauma is needed, for sure. Not this soft generation now where.
Okay, what's your philosophy on that?
Listen, I'm not saying some of the traumas that older generations face is okay.
Yeah.
Like fucking beating your wife and shit, getting your shit, getting your shit beat out of you.
Yeah.
Your husband come home and you get a fucking black eye for not having dinner ready. That's not cool.
Yeah.
But also the soft parenting shit, bro, it doesn't work.
Oh, like this
generation, the soft parenting, doesn't work. Like as being a sub, I get to be around some of these kids. And then they don't care about anything, bro. They don't care about their grades, nothing. They're just everything's superficial. And then phones don't help.
Yeah.
You get me? You can't develop those organic conversations. You get me? Some of these kids can't hold a conversation. So some of these generation people, even they're already older teens. They're already like in their 20s. They can't even hold eye contact. They get shy, or they look down. Like dude, like I'm looking at you not because I'm trying to hit at you or anything. I'm looking at you to acknowledge you that I'm talking to you. Like you exist. You know what I'm saying? I like to, like, when I'm cashing out or something, or I'm buying something, I like to look at them like, hey, like, I know that you exist. I know this is just a transaction.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I acknowledge you.
It's like, a form of acknowledgement.
So, that being said, like, I just feel like with the soft parenting, with the soft teaching sometimes, it just leads to kids not knowing how to deal with adversity. Yeah. Like, they face an obstacle or a challenge, and they crumble. You get me?
That's true.
And then, but also the byproduct, the other side of the coin, is, your men are considered to be not good with their emotions and stuff, and you're very like cold-hearted, I guess, and what I'm saying, and you get angry and stuff like that. So there's a quote though. It goes, the same hot water that boils a potato softens an egg. Or sorry, the same hot water that softens a potato hardens an egg. So some kids are gonna respond different to different parenting teaching styles. But it just like it has to be a balance. You get me? Like you have to for sure discipline your kid when the discipline needs to happen.
Yeah.
But also, what I'm saying, like I said, I'm not gonna, if I have a kid, I'm not gonna get mad for him for spilling something. You know what I'm saying? Or making a mistake. Stuff happen. And I'm not gonna beat the shit out of him. Yeah. But if he's like, if he's bullying another kid or he did something intentional, knowing that it can cause harm to somebody or it can damage something, and it's like, and you knew better, then for sure, I wouldn't mind putting belt to ass, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think kids don't. I think parents are afraid of that, you know. People recording, oh, he's beating his kid. I'm like, girl, if you've seen half the shit that my mom did,
what,
it would, you know, half of my ass whoopings, bro. Like, dude, I got get my ass beat.
Honestly, a lot of our parents would be in CPS.
For sure, but you need that, bro. You need that because, you know, some of the kids, they're not afraid of the repercussions.
Mm-hmm.
They're not afraid of the consequences, especially in these school systems.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, all that's going to happen is I'm going to get a referral.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get suspended. Like, okay.
Or I'm going to go to the room where they, like, have the tension.
Yeah, like ATS.
Now? ATS, yeah.
So, but yeah, bro, I think that's the thing. My philosophy is just like, you know, you can't rule with a soft hand, but you also can't rule with the iron fist. You get me? There has to be a balance.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Damn, that was really good. What is the moment in your life that had the biggest impact on you?
Okay, biggest impact. I think you already know where I'm going with this.
I already know where you're
for sure.
Yeah.
It's you know, the first time I ate In-N-Out. Nah. It's my dad dying. You know, the death of my father for sure. It's like I said, I was very close to my father, and you know, I was very grateful, and I was very fortunate to have a good father that loved me the way he did. You know, and then him dying right when I was going to start my next chapter of my life, which was college. You know, for sure, I would say that kind of changed the flow of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll say that would be the biggest impact. The biggest life-changing experience was losing my father, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree too. I don't remember exactly the day, but I know I was like in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I was a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
And well, from my perspective as his cousin, that we weren't that close, unfortunately. But you know, those are the things of like life. Like you're gonna miss out on some opportunities when you're barely growing up too. Like, and there's some things that you lived before me that I'm barely living right now. You know.
Yeah.
And it's just like the age gaps too. But I'm very conscious of that, and that's why I feel like whenever your dad died, like the way I seen you was like, you know, very like you like shut down. I feel like I feel like you probably didn't feel like it was like real to you at one point. And like how was just that process of like after the grief process, or like are you still grieving?
So like I said, with the whole family circle thing is. I was growing up, since I was always the only kid, it was always just me. You know, even as I got older, whenever I would hang out with my family, it would be fine, you get me? Like, it would be fun, you get me? But I was mostly out, but when there was like no family parties or no family get-togethers, it was mostly just me always by myself. You know, I had my friends during high school and stuff, for sure, but when we were hanging out, I had nobody else. Like, I didn't have my siblings. My siblings were 10 to like a 10-year age gap, so they were very little, you get me? So I was going through that time. So having to experience, like, you know, my dad dying right when I got out of high school, literally when I graduated high school, you know, it's one of those things where it's not that I shut down or I got closed off. It's like most of the people my age, you know what I'm saying, or the people that I know around me, they haven't experienced that.
Oh.
You get me?
Wow.
You haven't experienced your death of your father.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe you have like an uncle or something similar, or maybe a grandparent, stuff like that. You know.
Your dad.
But like, like my father, if you have a good relationship with your father, you know, it's hard to find somebody that can relate. You get me? So I think for the others looking in, it's like, oh, he's like, you know, it needs time. He's grieving. I'm like, yes, I'm grieving, but at the same time, like, I can't talk to you about it because you don't know what it feels like. Yeah, you might know of losing maybe, like I said, like somebody that's super close to you. Or might be similar, but for me, you know, my dad was my best friend. My dad was like my world, you get me? He was my parent, you know, he was my mom and dad. So technically, like, when he died, that day I lost both parents, you get me? In a sense. So, so I guess that kind of did, you know, shape me. And then how I dealt with the grieving process it's just day by day, dude. Honestly, of course, it was really rough, especially with the holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
Birthdays and, you know, not having your father. But I feel like those are the ones you typically expect. But it's the daily phone calls you miss. You give me the daily talks, even if they weren't extensive. You know what I'm saying?
Like just the
like my dad wasn't very the most emotional person, but he did show that he loved me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He tell me he cared for me, but you know what I'm saying? It's the hey dad, how you doing? Oh good, okay cool. You know
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna go. Oh I just call you see how you doing. Okay, even if it's like a 30-second conversation, you know you miss that. You don't get to experience that ever again. You get me? And it's like the little things you miss. Like for example, like you know I got a 4.0. Who the fuck am I gonna tell?
Oh,
It doesn't matter. You give me
man,
like
that's so true.
the person that you I did everything for.
Yeah.
You get me? It's not here no more. So I can't really like I couldn't tell.
And then like
little
things start to kind of just taste. Did you go through a phase of like life just started to taste really bitter? Like, or did you like
Yes
I
and
have to
no.
accept
You see,
my dad's
yes
death
and no,
move
because
on?
I think it could be different. Because like if it's like a sudden death, I can very I can see how your life can be very like hard.
Yeah.
But for me, my dad's always been sick my whole life. You get me? So I knew it was gonna happen eventually.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's something inevitable. You know what I'm saying? So I always prepared myself. We wouldn't have the tough conversations. Like hey, in case I die. You know what I'm saying? Like this is people that can take care of you. Blah blah blah. So but yeah that whole year was rough, bro. I also had another important family member pass away as well, another male figure. You know what I'm saying? So I lost like that same year, or that same time, that same college year, my freshman year. I lost, like I said, I lost my father, which is my main father figure.
Yeah.
And then lost a close cousin of mine through suicide, and you know what I'm saying. And so I just got hit like double whammy because even though I wasn't as close to him as I got older, like out of high school, 'cause he was going through his whole life. But when we were kids, bro, he was like my best friend, like my cousin, So
like
having to lose him too in that same amount of time, it kind of fucked me up, in terms of like dude, like wow, like fuck,
Yeah.
So, but don't get me wrong, the times where I would grieve, I would just cry and stuff and just randomly, but I knew better and to not use that as an excuse to get into alcohol, to get into drugs, you know what I'm saying? Not to become a victim to my circumstances.
Yeah.
And
it's really good that you've always had like that self-awareness.
Yeah, it was because growing up with my dad, my dad was a very happy person, even though he was very sick all the time,
Yeah.
He was a very happy person, you know what I'm saying? And then just did what he could with what he had, you get me?
Yeah.
So him not giving up or going into drugs and making an excuse of how life has been going to fucking break down and just shut down, you get me? Like I can't use that excuse.
That's true.
Like if he didn't use it, I can't. You get me?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I can't grieve or anything. I did grieve. You know what I'm saying? I was sad and I did go through these emotions, but I didn't use it as an excuse to be self-destructive.
Wow.
You know what I'm
saying? So in a way, like he was really like that role model.
No, he was my role model. He was like I said, like my dad was like my whole world. You get me?
Wow.
My dad was my best friend. Like everything I did from going to grade school to middle school or you know what I'm saying to high school, I did for him. You know what I'm saying? I struggled, of course, to middle school. I was like, even in those like the support classes, because I couldn't read the best, I couldn't write the best, and then my dad couldn't read or write because he was sick, so he wasn't allowed into school, so he couldn't, And then my mom, well, she stopped going. She didn't even graduate high school, so she really could only help me to a certain point. So I really did poorly at school. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And at least in the first years of going to school, but 1 year, I remember to this day, he ended up becoming one of my good friends in high school. But I had him for a 6th grade class, and he was the smartest kid in the class, And one day, I don't know, I just felt like, you know what? I'm gonna try today. I'm gonna try. His name's Alex Alfaro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he's always been the smartest dude that I know. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, I'm like, today I'm gonna try on this test. I'm like, I'm gonna try. Like, I'm really trying to try. And sure enough, I ended up outscoring him. I got a better grade than him or whatever.
Wow.
And then that's when for me it was like, wow, like I'm not stupid. This narrative that people have been telling me, like, oh, you're just dumb, you're just slow, like you suck at reading, you can't write.
Wait, people would tell you stuff?
Like, no, but but you're just hearing it. You get me? Like the fucking popcorn reading. You're being fucking slow, taking the test. They're not telling you that. The teachers aren't telling you. They're working with you, but you know why you're there because you're struggling. You get me? So you feel fucking dumb. You get me?
Exactly.
But it wasn't that I was fucking dumb. I just never really tried because I didn't have that support at home. Not because So I started trying and I'm like, wow, like I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. Whatever this narrative that I heard about myself and it kept believing is true is not true. You get me?
Yeah.
So when I got to 7th grade and 8th grade, like I started really trying, doubling down, like just trying and paying attention. And sure enough, the grades went up, and so everything, all the accolades, whatever I got during school, it was because of my dad. You mean like everything I did was for him, because he sacrificed so much for me.
Wow.
So that's my way of repaying him. So
that's really inspirational, to be honest. Like for me, first hearing it, like your perspective and like kind of diving into your mind and stuff and what your thought process was in that moment. Like that's really inspirational for me, and I'm pretty sure there's like people watching us that have probably went through the same stuff. That's the exact reason why I like to bring, people just like me and you, everyday people.
Yeah, and then I know you mentioned like how I dealt with the grief.
Yeah.
And just making jokes, to be honest.
That's true.
That's the way like I said, those cousins that I mentioned that would look out for me, didn't have their dad in their life. Their dad walked out on them. So that's the way we always grew up. So we were like
dark humor.
Yeah, dark humor is the way we cope with our feelings.
Yeah, I could say. Yeah,
like for example, my cousin Miguel had a pretty rough childhood, like really rough. I think I don't know how he did it. I don't know if I can handle what he went through. You get me?
Yeah.
And so, but he's one of like the most loving guys and most funny, and the most funny guys I know. You get me?
Literally.
So it's like I don't know. It just depends. It just the person decides whether they want to be a victim to the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And then they can choose to be bitter.
Shout out to our cousin Miguel.
Shout out Miguel. Hey,
you better watch.
Same thing with Jose. Same thing with Jose. His dad wasn't there in his life, and you know what I'm saying, with his mom, just him and his mom, and just doing what he can, and they struggle too. But same thing, we just joke. We make a joke about going through hard stuff and just laugh about it because we're suffering together. You get me?
Yeah.
Misery less company. You get me?
Yeah.
So, but after that, we just we go about our day.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I feel like
that's it.
I feel like we're getting to the end. I have
what?
One more question.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Before we end this.
I feel like it was just getting started.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to make it a longer episode, I'm down. It's up to you. The camera's good back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're going to pause it right now? So pause it.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, guys. So give me 1 second. It's because the camera's going to die. We're going to have to go on a little short break. So
intermission.
Don't mind us. Words. We'll be back. One second. We're actually recording on TikTok Live right now. I'm waiting for a couple people to come in, and we want them to ask us questions. So, yeah, we're just going to wait for them.
Oh, I got a question right now on top of the dome.
Okay. This is unlimited.
How do you, this is
uncut.
Yeah, uncut, raw. It's real, it's raw.
Like carne asada raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you think being around other relationships affects your other personal relationships, like with partners and other stuff like that?
Like if I had my own relationship?
Yeah, like how do you think growing up with seeing other people's relationships, how did that affect you?
Oh.
Yeah, like the trauma that creates, whether there's trauma, whether you see healthy relationships or you don't.
Well then, let's get the cat out of the fucking bag.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's just like a lawnmower. Fucking. She was no cat.
Okay. Well, why do you say it like that? Okay. Okay. Stop! I'm gonna die right now. Late night things said my rose is going off right now.
Her rose?
Her rose.
Yeah.
Rose.
Row your boat gently down the stream. Shit, her rose is going off right now.
Yeah. Hi, Ardoes.
Oh, she's the night DJ.
Yeah.
She's the disc jockey.
She does house music at night.
Yeah. She does a night shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, under the covers, the night shift. She's a DJ.
Jasmine, subscribe to my podcast, guys. This episode is going to come out tomorrow at 8 a.m. So y'all better stay tuned.
8 a.m. You heard
that. Subscribe, comment, like, and share.
Yeah. They never seen somebody like me on this podcast.
Hi, Nessa.
Yeah.
All right.
My personality.
So let me answer your question.
Yeah.
Well, growing up... okay. I was about to say growing up gay, but I was like half of my life was closeted.
Yeah.
So I can't really say growing up, which I've always was gay, but I was like suppressed that side. But I came out in 2021, so let's start from there. I feel like because when I came out and looking at relationships back and from now in this perspective, in this day and age, I wouldn't say I envied them, but it would make me feel emotional. Like it made me feel sad because I know that like hetero relationships are easier to find and easier to get than gay relationships, especially as a male. And especially here in our small town where we live at.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because from perspective and from experience. Like literally the only guys that want to hit me up are literally like married men, you know. It's just like
married man
makes me feel disgusting.
With death upon me. Oh.
Like I don't know, it just makes me feel disgusted. Like, and so for that same reason, like when I look at relationships, it makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
But I never feel like any type of jealousy or envy.
Okay.
But I'm like, damn, I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I wish I had that.
Okay. Cool,
you know.
Cool. All right. I feel like my question got kind of lost in translation. So what I was trying to ask was, so being around your parents' relationship and let's say your grandparents' relationship and their relationships, how do you think that affects you in other relationships? Like for example, I grew up in a broken home. Oh. So that affected me and my relationship with my other partner, with my partner, you get me? And then just because all I known was the unhealthiness, you get me?
Yeah.
So naturally, you it's all you know. So when you're in a relationship, you don't know that you're doing those things, right? Until somebody's like, hey, like what you're doing is not healthy. You're like, I'm sorry, because this is all I've known. You think that's normal, like because you grow up in the healthy, you grow up looking at unhealthy or being part of unhealthy relationships, so you grow up thinking that's normal. You get me?
Yeah.
And I don't know your mom's and your dad's relationship perfect, but for the most part, it seemed pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody has their ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? But you think that, you know, that can really affect how?
I think it's Now I get your question.
You finally picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah.
You get me? Yeah.
But watching, you guys know that I have a podcast on YouTube, but my cousin Nachito was like, "Why don't you just go live when you do your podcast?"
Yeah. Keep going with
but what I'm gonna start doing is go halfways because you guys have to go to my YouTube to watch it all.
Yeah, that's right.
You get
a sample.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, like when you guys go to Costco, you guys get samples. Well, this is kind of like that.
You know how OnlyFans girls do it, where they're like, get the rest of the content.
Yeah, like a teaser pleaser moment.
Yeah, I think that's a strip club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, this is my cousin. You guys are gonna see everything about him on the YouTube video.
Yeah. For sure.
But back to what you were saying. Everybody tap that screen as well. Thank you so much for everybody tapping the screen. Back to what you were saying.
Thank you for the thank you for the rose. Thank you for the galaxy. Thank you for the galaxy.
No, I'm not there yet.
Not yet. That's the important word. Not yet.
Most podcasts ain't live, honey. Most are pre-recorded. Hey. He likes it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for the feedback. We're getting real footage. Thank you, Dino, for the heart me. Thank you so much. Okay, y'all. I'll definitely consider it. I feel like because my parents, they picked up toxic traits from their parents.
Yes.
I can feel that in me sometimes when it comes out in like even the way I act with people around me.
But you don't even know how.
But I don't sometimes like.
Did it register?
Yeah, and then my sister. Thank God I have my sister because she's one of the ones that calls me out.
Yeah.
And it's good to have somebody to call you out once in a while. Or
I agree.
Every day.
I agree.
And so I'm just really grateful for my sister because she's the one that calls me out and we call each other out. But not in like a aggressive, rude way. In a loving, like, hey, sister, brother, like, hey, like, you need to humble yourself sometimes.
I think that's important. I think if you grow up, if you're around a bunch of yes men, people that are always saying, yeah, to everything you do, you can get very destructive. You get me?
Yeah.
You need those people to check you. You get me? Like, hey, what you're doing is not right. You get me? Like, hey, I don't like this path you're going down. Like, you gotta kind of flip it, take a U-turn, you know?
And I feel like adding to that, me and my sister, I feel like we've been breaking those generational curses of living like our ancestors. What the
My
fuck?
ancestors living with our ancestors is crazy. Hey, take it back to the mountains in Mexico or what?
Our Mayan family. Well, actually, my dad's from Michoacan, so the Olmecs ran
Olmecs?
that. So we probably come from Olmecs.
Yeah, I don't know. If you look at my grandma, she's for sure native. Like,
Yeah.
but everybody's like, oh, I'm an Aztec or I'm a Mayan. Like, there's other tribes for sure.
Yeah.
So she's some kind of native for sure. I just don't know what kind.
Until the motherfucking
The colonizers.
Europeans.
Yeah, the colonizers.
Like,
Right. But yeah.
Not that uncommon.
My next question for you. And now,
guys, I'm on the hot seat.
Yeah, we got to deep dive into me. Right. So now that you created a podcast and you have a presence on social media, how does those people affect you? You get me? Yeah, if you have people that comment pretty rude things, you know what I'm saying? And then, being somebody always watching other content creators, eventually all the negative stuff can get to you. You get me? They're like, oh, people are always commenting and stuff like that. Like, how do you deal with that? I mean, I'm sure once in a while you get some kind of bot or you get some people.
Yeah, recently I got a bot yesterday. Shout out to Biscuit. I play with them. I don't go wrong with them. Honestly, the way I see people that hate on me.
Yeah.
When I first started podcasts and social media was a year ago, I would be like, I was scared of like what people were gonna say. But then I'm like, wait, this is my show. This is my platform. And you have to take charge of your power. Yeah. And I believe in that. That's what I believe in. I think that's what's helped me sustain what I have and what's to come eventually.
It's good. This is with the risk, you're putting yourself out there, and that's one of the risks is getting criticized and
and you have to be.
You know what I'm saying?
Aaliyah, thank you, Aaliyah. How are you?
For sure.
Hi, Aaliyah. How you been?
Hi, Aaliyah. I don't know who you are, but hello.
This is my cousin, everybody.
This is me.
Filming a pod right now. Yeah.
For
This is one of my cousins that I've been wanting to bring him on my podcast. As you can tell, like he has like the best energy. Literally, like he needs his own talk show.
What you need is mics, bro, and that way you can talk to the mics. I mean, these are cool, but like you need a table.
You see what I'm struggling with?
Hey, but it's all stepping stones, bro.
Yeah.
If you guys send a bunch of roses right now, we can reach those goals faster. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the gummy bear, whoever it was earlier. Appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Thank you, Yvette, for the gift for the heart puff, the rose.
Oh yeah! Yes. Again, we're about to be all kinds of DJs at night with the rose.
So let's shoot this outro.
All right. Lock it in.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
All right, you guys. So as you guys already seen, this episode was full of surprises. My cousin is a bag of surprises. There's much more to talk with him, and if you guys want to see him on my podcast, once again, let me know in the comments below. But other than that, it was a good conversation, and it was a good energy.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye guys.